Hello friends, welcome back to the Learning Library. In this video we are going to read the story Hannah's Collections. So in this story we are going to learn about Hannah has different groups of items at home and she wants to bring some things into school for show and tell. So Hannah has a dilemma. She can't bring everything from home, so she has to pick and choose which items would be best for her to show her friends at school. Together, we're going to help her decide. Let's get started. Hannah's Collections by Marthe Jocelyn. Hannah loved to collect things. She found new treasures wherever she went. Her room was starting to look like a museum when her teacher made an announcement on one Friday asking the children to bring in a collection to share with the class. Hannah was a bit worried. How could she choose just one collection to bring to school? Every collection was her favorite. Hannah had more buttons than anything else. She had 153 buttons. She counted them every time she found a new one. She sorted them in cupcake tins, sometimes by size, sometimes by shape, sometimes by color. Since she had started collecting, Hannah had eaten many popsicles and saved all the sticks. She arranged them in patterns of triangles, X's, and lines. Hannah also found things with their own patterns from nature. She had picked up 43 seashells on the beach last summer, and each had a different design. So did the shell of her pet turtle, Davy. Hannah's 19 feathers had spots and speckles and stripes. Her 10 leaves had crisscrosses and curves and points. Hannah chose barrettes with matching designs for Ellie. She could never decide if she had 14 barrettes or 7 pairs of barrettes. But when she and Ellie got dressed up, they looked very fancy indeed. Altogether, Hannah had 24 little creatures. She let Ellie look after the elephant family who lived in the chocolate box. The others stood in a row along her shelf, lined up from tallest to smallest. So which side is tallest, this side or this side? This side is the tallest, and then it goes all the way down, shorter, to the shortest person. Hannah also collected jewelry. She had 5 rings. Sometimes she wore them all on one hand, or she might wear 4 on one hand and 1 on the other, or 3 on one hand and 2 on the other. And Hannah had still more collections to choose from. Which one should she take to school? Hannah thought and thought. Finally, she pressed her fists against her eyes and she saw fireworks. Then she had an idea. What would solve everything? She borrowed a tray from the kitchen. She found the glue bottle in the cupboard. She gathered up sticky tape and thumbtacks and cardboard and string and rubber bands. She needed a lot of buttons, some feathers, a couple of leaves, several seashells, a few little creatures, and most of her popsicle sticks. She used 10 coins from Uncle Matthew's Travels, 9 special erasers, 8 keys that didn't lock things anymore, 7 stamps from faraway places, 6 pieces of striped candy, 5 clothespins that she kept in a polka dot bag, 4 fake ladybugs, 3 miniature books, and 2 weird wallets. Hannah worked all weekend on her smart idea. And now, said Hannah on Monday, I have one thing to take to school. It's the first piece in my new collection. So what did Hannah decide to do? Hannah decided to combine all of her collections into one thing. So she was able to show her friends at school everything that she loved at home because she made it into one big piece. I have my very own collection to show you. I have a variety of buttons. So the buttons, you are going to help me to separate them in different groups. And I'm going to practice. I'm going to show you some different groups and collections you can sort the buttons in. And then I want you to go to Class Dojo and I want you to make your own collection of buttons. You can either use my buttons and do it virtually, or you can have your own buttons and show me through a video message how you decided to separate them. Friends, I have my buttons, my version of Hannah's collection, so Miss Aisha's collection's here. What do you notice about my buttons? Can you tell me the shapes of the buttons? What shape are these buttons? When we sort things, we put things that are similar together. So how do you think I can sort these collections? I know we can sort by color because I have different colors here. So I can sort the white or the pearl ones together. I can sort the brown ones in another pile. I have some metallic or silver buttons. I can put those together. I have a white button, just one, so that can either go with the pearl because it looks like pearl. I have clear. I don't have any clear buttons, so that one will be by itself. Yellow, don't have any yellow, but maybe I can make a button group that is for vibrant colors. So I have this blue button that can go in the pile. The red button can go with that. I have this light pink. I don't know where that one can go yet. I have a shiny button that's gonna probably go in its own pile, but look, I have another shiny button here, so I can put these two together in a pile. And my silver, we could put this black and white button that can go with this guy, and the black one can go with the silver. So, oh, and this is a gold button. So I could put the gold button with the bronze/brown pins because that matches. So this is one way I can sort my collections. I'm gonna leave this one separate because it doesn't really look like any of the other ones. Now I'm gonna put them back together. How else can I sort the buttons? And sort them is by the material that they're made of. So like I said, the textured ones usually are made out of some material other than plastic. So this one is made out of like a cloth. And this one is made out of rhinestones. And the rest of them are of plastic type of material. So I can sort them in different groups. 1, 2, 3 groups of different material. Just like that. And then I will put the cloth bead. The cloth button would go with this other cloth button. And I have another rhinestone button. Okay, maybe I can't find it. Anyway. And I have another rhinestone button. So that would go with this button because it is also made out of rhinestones or gemstones. And then I have my other plastic button. So now I have 2 groups here. Sort these by the number of holes because look, this one, how many holes does this one have? 1, 2, 3, 4. And this button has only 2 holes. So this button has less holes than this. So I could sort my buttons by holes. And notice this guy doesn't have any holes on it. So that one would go in another group because that doesn't have any holes. So I will have a group of just with no holes. If I had buttons that weren't circles, but for me, all of my buttons happen to be circles, I can separate them by the shape. Oh, I can sort by size. I have lots of smaller buttons and I have really big buttons. So I could sort by the size of the buttons. Big, small, medium. we just read Hannah's collections and we decided how to sort out buttons. Great job sorting and finding different sizes, shapes, and different varieties of all different kinds and types, whatever characteristics you decided to separate them in. Wonderful thinking. I'll see you next time in the Learning Library. Goodbye.